Reason why Tupac was overrated is because he is considered a voice of a generation. He was the first rapper to be shot dead. On that token, the prisons felt that their work and investment was being done, that rap music was filling in the prisons. Now let's talk about his albums, starting with the first one. He started working on his first album, Tupacalypse. This album has some of Tupac's better lyrical content, actually, as you can see in songs like Branda's Got a Baby, Violence, etc. However, it had really poor production, and Tupac's flow and delivery wasn't really perfect yet, so it didn't sell too well at its time. His second album, Strictly For Myniggas, which in my opinion was a huge disappointment. Even though it had a good song like Keep Your Head Up, it was also full of hypocrisy. When his next song was called I Get Around, those two songs were two really different songs and did not go in hand with each other. Also, pretty much all the other songs were pretty boring and was not anything great about the album. The only thing that saved the album was the song called Last Words, featuring Ice-T and Ice Cube. Otherwise, I could care less for it. He released his double album, All Eyez On Me, one of the most overrated hip-hop albums of all time. It had like 2 to 3 good songs on it because of the great features and production. But Tupac's rapping was average with too many tracks to have filter. Also, he then released a Hit 'Em Up, a very overrated diss song, which lacks originality and is just filled with a bunch of kindergarten insults against Biggie, and the beat was good though, but that was it. However, his first posthumous Machiavelli Dawn 7 Days was a good album. I admit that he sounded better than All Eyez On Me, and it sounded more like he was going back to his older stuff from Tupacalypse with a way better production. Me Against the World was also pretty decent, but 2 albums out of 5 that are listenable aren't consistent at all. We talk about his albums out of the way. Let's talk about Tupac when it comes to his flow, delivery, lyrics, lyric techniques, and hooks. Let's start over his flow, and here we go. His flow was passable at best. Sure, he could ride the beat with average rhythmic sounds, but with his vocals being loggy with awkward pauses sometimes, and the pace of the flow is not energetic, plus it wasn't anything special. It was an okay flow, which is very easy to pull off, but definitely not close to a good one. His delivery is somewhat nifty. His breath control is sluggish, and while his vocal cords are scratchy, his form of speech can be sufficient at times in some of his songs, but overall his delivery is at best above average. His lyrics were not so great. The verses of his songs are lackluster to hear due to simple lyrical lines. Also, he didn't use smiles, and hell, his rhyme schemes aren't complex with syllables that are basic. And he never used punchlines on any of his songs. He just told stories, and he was average lyrically at best. He was just a somewhat decent storyteller, that's all, who had positive messages sometimes, but sometimes even below average songs like What's Your Phone Number, which it did sound very bad lyrically. His lyric technique was mediocre. Terrible vocabulary with no complex metaphors. Heck, He didn't even use wordplay, which is a shame, to be honest. And the grammar is not that original, with the consistent amount of ebonics thrown into the mix. His hooks were basic, melodic phrases that are decent. The choruses of his songs are at best second rate, with fairly good lyrical lines sometimes. Overall, I gave Tupac Shakur a 5.0 out of 10. He had a passable flow, nifty delivery, and basic hooks, but his lyrics and lyricsy technique are what I would say at best mediocre. Well, yeah, I think if Tupac would have lived today, he probably would have gone over more to acting than rapping, since his music probably would not have sold crap, because he'll be a one-hit wonder after that, All Eyez On Me. And when I say acting, I don't mean like a movie star, more like a B actor nobody really cares about. And people just are like, oh, it's that old ass one-hit wonder rapper again that nobody cares about anymore. Because most of the movies Tupac was in, nobody would have even known about it today if it wasn't for Tupac being in it. And yeah, I agree, the bandwagon is just sick and lame, but it's a bit whack when there are even rappers and not only fans that jump on Tupac's back when he died. I mean, I get it that his music can be relatable to a lot of people, but that doesn't make it good. Just because Lil Durk would make a song with a topic about something I've been through in life does not mean I will like it. Because if you only got a good message but no lyrics at all, then how is it going to be good? Plus, basic ass flows and crap, but whatever. Yeah, he was basically just another washed up studio thug and an actor. Just like he was an actor on the movie Juiced, he tried to act like that in real life. He tried to play the role of Bishop, even though he was really a soft ass person, more like the Drake, that's right, Ombre Graham of the 90s. And would not have been half as popular today if it wasn't for his death at the exact same time he just had gotten popular. Because to be honest, all those old albums like Tupacalypse Now, Strictly For My Niggas, and that crap didn't sell shit when he was alive. And then I really mean shit. That's what I mean like by that. You can look up how much they sold after his death compared to when he was alive. Me Against the World was his first album that went somewhat mainstream, but Pac wasn't even all that popular until All Eyez On Me was out. Due to it being heavily promoted with having more famous artists backing up, such as Dr. Drake, Snoop, DPG, and other established West Coast rappers. And then he just died, and everybody was like, Pac is the greatest of all rapper, blah blah blah, thug life shit. There you go. There's my video of Tupac being overrated and mediocre. That's my honest opinion. Well, that's all. Thank you for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.